In this video, you are going to learn what is Coulomb's law. Let us assume there is a positive charge here, Q1, negative charge, Q2, located at a distance of R. Then in that case, as per Coulomb's law, the force between these two charges is along the line joining them. That means along this line R, and it is directly proportional to the product of Q1 and Q2. And it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. And the proportionality constant is K. Force is a vector quantity. And in the previous slide, were represented in terms of magnitude. If the charges are opposite in sign, the force is attractive. If the charges are same in sign, then force is repulsive. And the proportionality constant K is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0, where epsilon 0 it is the permittivity of the medium. So after substituting value of epsilon 0 here, that is 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter. So this is the expression for force between two charges Q1 and Q2. This gives the magnitude. Let us see how we can represent direction for this. So let us suppose there is a vector Q1 here, vector Q2 here. This vector Q1 is located at a distance R1 from origin. Vector Q2 is located at a distance R2 from origin. Or in other words, R1 and R2, these are the position vectors corresponding to charges Q1 and Q2. And R12 is the vector joining these two charges Q1 and Q2. So let us see how to assign direction to this force F. So force F12, that means force on 2 because of charge Q1. This is directed in this direction. So this direction is the unit vector along with vector R12. So that is this AR12. Now AR12, it is the unit vector along vector R12. So that is vector R12 divided by magnitude of R12. So if I take magnitude of R12 as R, then in that case AR12 is vector R12 divided by R. So substituting this here, this gives me R12 upon R cube. So this is the force vector. Force on charge 2 because of charge 1. So R12 is R2 minus R1. Now R12 is R2 minus R1. So the vector R12 is R2 minus R1. So substituting this here for R12. So it is R2 minus R1, and this R is nothing but magnitude of R2 minus R1. So that's why it is magnitude of R2 minus R1 cube. So this is the expression for force on charge 2 because of charge 1 in terms of position vectors R1 and R2. So in the same manner, force on charge 1 because of charge 2. So that is F21. This is the direction of F21. It will be in the opposite direction. So this is in the direction AR21. Unit vector along R21. So this AR21 gives direction to this vector. So this is magnitude of F21. Now the magnitude of F12 and magnitude of F21 is same. That's why I can also write it as magnitude of F12. Now AR21, vector R2 AR21, this is same as minus AR12. So AR21, it is same as minus AR12. Or in other words, F21, it is same as minus F12 because the magnitudes are same and the directions are opposite. Like charges, as we have seen earlier, they repel each other, and unlike charges attract. Now when we apply these formulas, what we have seen in the previous slide, to find out the force on one charge because of the other charge, we assume that the two charges are point charges. So this can be point charges only if distance r is very large as compared to the bodies of the charges. So as compared to the bodies of the charges, the distance r must be very large, and in that case this can be considered as point charge. We also assume that Q1 and Q2 must be static. That means the charges are not moving, they are at rest. And while evaluating this force, signs of Q1 and Q2 must be considered. So these are the assumptions under which we can apply the formulas what we have seen just now. In the previous case, we have seen formula for force because of 2 point charges. Now suppose we have more than one charges like this. So one charge is here, second charge, third charge, and so on. So if there are more than one charges, then in that case the net force because of the number of such point charges is nothing but the vector sum of all forces. So that means, in other words, it is given in terms of superposition principle. So superposition principle is applicable here. So we add all the forces acting on each separate charge. So that becomes a calculus. So this means if there are n number of such charges here, I want to find out force at this point, then add all these forces because of all these charges. So that is superposition principle. This we'll see in detail later on. Now where we can use this Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law can be used to find force between the pair of charges. This is what we have seen just now. So we can evaluate it to find out the force. We can use Coulomb's law to find potential at a point due to a fixed charge. Potential means V, that is the scalar quantity. So because of a fixed charge Q, we can find out what is the potential V. We can find out the electric field intensity at a point due to a fixed charge. We can also find out the electric flux density indirectly. That means knowing value of E, we can find out D. Find potential and electric field due to any type of charge distribution. So that means if I have charge distribution like line charge distribution or some surface charge distribution or some volume charge distribution, then because of this charge distribution, how much is the voltage or the electric field intensity at some other point. So that can be determined using Coulomb's law. So this type of problems we are going to solve later. We can also find out charge if the force and the electric field are known. So if the force and electric field intensity are known, we can find out the charge Q. So these are all different types of applications of Coulomb's law. Now let us solve this problem. There is a charge Q1 having value minus 10 microcoulomb placed at origin here in a rectangular coordinate system, and second charge Q2 of minus 10 millicoulomb located at a distance of 50 centimeter from the origin. Find the force on Q1 due to Q2 if they are in free space. If they are in free space, that means I have to take epsilon 0 here for free space. So this is a simple problem. Directly we can substitute the values in the formulas what we have seen earlier. So let us evaluate it. Q1 located at origin, that means 0, 0, 0. Q2 is Q2 of minus 10 millicoulomb located at point x equal to 0.5, y equal to 0, and z equal to 0. That means at this point. Okay. So this is the formula what we have seen, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 upon r square. R is the distance between these two, that is 50 centimeter, and ar12, that is the unit vector between these two vectors. Now this unit vector ar12 is nothing but vector r12 divided by magnitude of this vector r12. So if the magnitude of vector r12 is r, so if I substitute it here, it gives me r cube. Now r12, that is the unit vector. This is r12. This is given as position vector r1 minus r2. So this is r1 here, this is r2. So this is the corresponding coordinates. 0 minus 0.5, it is minus 0.5 ax. That is for x coordinates. Y coordinates for both r1 and r2 is 0. Similarly, z coordinates are 0. So r12 is minus 0.5 ax. So it is in the negative x direction. So this is the direction, minus 0.5 ax. Magnitude of r12 is 0.5. So substituting all these values in the formula, q1, value of q1, value of q2. This is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0, that is 9 into 10 raised to 9. This is minus ax divided by r cube, that is 0.25. So this gives me f12 equal to minus 360 Newton, and the direction is in the negative x direction. Okay. Now let us consider this second example. Now here there are three charges. So three equal point charges of 2 microcoulomb are in free space at 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0 and 0, 2, 0. So 2 microcoulomb charge located, that is q1 here. This is q1. The charge which is located at 2, 0, 0. So this is q2, q2, q3, 0, 2, 0. And at q4, this is q4, 2, 2, 0. So we want to find out the net force on charge q4. So this charge of 5 microcoulomb here. Okay. So we will find out the force on q4 because of all the three. So this is just an example of application of superposition theorem. All the three charges q1, q2, q3 are equal 2 microcoulomb. So let us find out the position vectors corresponding to all the three. So we'll join q4 with q1, q2 and q3. So position vector r1 corresponding to this point, it is 0, 0, 0, that is origin. Then position vector corresponding to this r2, so that is corresponding to this coordinate 2, 0, 0, so that is 2 minus 0, 2ax, 0 minus 0 and 0 minus 0. So that is r2 is 2ax. Then similarly r3 corresponding to this point 0 minus 0, 0, x component 0, then 2 minus 0, y component 2ay, z component 0 minus 0. So there is no z component. So similarly r4 2, 2, 0. So that is 2ax plus 2ay. So these are the position vectors. Now vector r41, joining this is vector r41. So this is r4 minus r1, what we have seen earlier. So that is 2ax plus 2ay. Similarly r42, so this is r42, that is r4 minus r2, 2ax plus 2ay minus 2ax equal to 2ay, because 2ax here, this and this cancels, so this is 2ay. Similarly, R43 along this direction, so this is R43, this is 2 minus 0 for x, so that is 2ax, then 2 minus 2, so y component is 0, 0 minus 0, z component is also 0, so finally it is 2ax. Similarly, R41, so this is the magnitude of R41, square root 4 plus 4, so that is 2.828. R42, magnitude of R42 2, R43, magnitude of R43, that is 2. Now the net force on Q4 because of Q1, Q2 and Q3, so that is addition of all the three forces, F41, 42 and 43. Using these formulas, F41 Q4 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 R41, A41 the unit vector. Now A41, it is nothing but 2ax plus 2ay, A41, so this vector R41, so this is vector R41, that is 2ax plus 2ay divided by magnitude of this vector R41, that is 2.828, so this is A41. So similarly, F42, in terms of A42 is ay, that is magnitude of A42 divided by vector A42 divided by magnitude of vector A42, that is ay. Similarly, F43, in terms of A43, so A43, that is 2ax upon 2, magnitude of this. So that is ax. So substituting all the three, taking common terms outside, that is Q4 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. This gives me A41 upon R41 square. This one. Similarly, A42 divided by R42 square, A43 divided by R43 square. So substituting values of Q4, constant value epsilon 0. This 2 microcoulomb, 5 microcoulomb, value of Q and Q4. Then 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0, that is 9 to 10 raised to 9. Substituting this, A41 here, A42 and A43. So solving this gives me F equal to 30.45 AX plus AY millinewton. So this is how we can find out the force on one charge because of many point charges. So basically this is application of superposition theorem. So like this, if I have n number of such charges, then we can add the forces because of all different types of all these charges, Q1, Q2 up to Qn. So Q1 I have here, Q1, Q2 and so on up to Qn, n number of charges. So because of this, if I want to find out force at this point, then I will add all these forces because of Q1, because of Q2, because of Q3, because of Q4. So that gives me this summation. This is actually application of superposition principle. So this is about the Coulomb's law and application of Coulomb's law to point charge.